Shane, where are you right now? I'm about to leave to head to another wedding venue to take a look at it. It's almost time for our appointment there, so could you hurry up and come home?
Oh, just a second ago I canceled that appointment. So today there's no need to head to that wedding venue anymore.
What? What are you talking about?
Actually, the venue that you chose for us to take a look at, it wasn't good enough for my mom. There was no other choice for me but to cancel that tour, right?
Why is your mom having that much of a say in our wedding, though? Does that mean you're over at your mom's house right now?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. And I was called by my mom this morning to come all the way out here. She told me she had some things to tell me about the wedding and all that. And when I showed her the place you and I had in mind, she told me it's too expensive and that we needed to find a cheaper place to have it.
Even though this is our wedding, she's not going to listen to what we'd like to do for it?
You really are so annoying sometimes. My mom is asking that we have our wedding at the cheapest place possible, so that's where we're having it. When it comes to my mom, her word is final, and the same thing will go when it comes to our wedding, so listen.
So, no matter what your mom says, you're just going to blindly listen to it?
For as long as I can remember, every time I listened to what my mom was saying, it turned out to be the correct thing. Actually, aren't you being a bit rude right now towards my mom, Julie? I guess it's true that those without parents have no clue how to talk to them, because you were never disciplined when you were raised in that foster home. You have no idea how to treat my mom when she tells us what to do. Parentless children shouldn't normally be getting treated to anything at all. So you'd better be thankful for this wedding you're being given.
What the hell? Is it really that wrong for me to ask that you and I make the decisions about our wedding instead of your mom?
Stop complaining so much just because my mom has given us her opinion on the matter. All right, are we done here? The wedding venue viewing or whatever is canceled now, so I'm gonna take it easy over here at my mom's place for the day before coming home.
Shane...
Julie, you told me before that today you were supposed to be going out to take a look at that wedding venue you really liked, correct? If you plan on reserving a date at that place, let me know, and I'd be happy to support you with the payments. Please, don't be afraid to ask.
Thank you so much for saying that, Robert. But it doesn't seem there will be a need for that anymore. However, I'm happy to hear that you were willing to do that for me.
I suppose you were saying that the place you want to have your wedding at is very well received and is popular among you younger folks, right? If you're trying not to ask because of the price, please don't worry about that. I would really like to show you how much I appreciate a wonderful girl like you getting married to my son Shane, and that means doing so by getting you that venue.
I'm so thankful to hear that from you, Robert, but we've changed our minds last minute on the kind of venue we want to have the wedding at. Thankfully, the viewing and everything was free, so canceling it last minute wasn't a problem at all.
What happened that made you guys change your mind like that? Did my son start whining about the price of the place?
Not just him, actually. The one who really wanted us to go to a different venue was his mom. Today, Shane went out to go see her, and that's where she told him that she wants us having our wedding at the cheapest venue possible. Shane said we have to listen to her, so we can't have the wedding where I wanted to.
Are you telling me the truth? I don't want to believe what I'm hearing here. But thinking about how my Shane and my wife are, it all makes sense. Julie, I'm so sorry about them. Later on, I'd like to meet with you in person and apologize to you more then. As for Shane and my wife, give me a bit to go and talk them both straight.
But you're really busy yourself, aren't you?
Please don't worry about my circumstances, Julie. To be honest with you, I'm partially responsible for those two thinking that they can both go out and do whatever it is that they want. So would you please let me handle them?
Ugh, all right. I'm sorry that you're having to do that, though, while already having your hands full.
You don't have to apologize to me for anything when it's those two who should really be apologizing right now.
Now you've really gone and screwed things up. You went and tattled on us to my dad, didn't you? Because of your nonsense, he's now more mad at me than he's ever been in a long time. All of that preaching from him was a serious waste of my time. I was having so much more fun playing my games before he came through the door and started digging into me like that. How can you go to my dad like that and tell on us just because one thing didn't go your way? Are you an elementary schooler or something?
It was your dad who asked me earlier today about how things with the wedding venue went. I just told him what you and your mom wanted us to do and nothing more. Also, if you're going to start calling me an elementary schooler now, then what does that say about you when you still haven't seemed to have left your mother's side yet?
Shut up about me right now. My mom happens to be the best mother out there. But when it comes to you, things are totally different. My dad is my dad, and he has nothing to do with a foster child like you. So you cut it out thinking you can use him however you'd like to.
What the hell is this, Shane? Why aren't you listening to anything I say to you anymore? You told me before that you were totally fine with the venue I'd picked out and that you'd really want to go and have a look at it in person, right? Why did you lie to me about that and change sides at the end? Saying out of nowhere that we couldn't go there anymore? And your reason for that was your mom telling you we couldn't go there? I'm sorry, but I can't accept that kind of an excuse from you.
And a parentless child like you could never understand my situation. In the end, the most important people to me are my family members related to me by blood. And when it comes to my mom's advice, she does it because she wants the best for me, so I will always listen to her. Yet for some reason, you continue to run your mouth complaining about everything she says. Not only are parentless children like you unable to understand how important family are, but you don't even know how to listen.
Well, then what about you, Shane? You know what? Whatever. Screw getting married, then.
What? Hey, whoa, now you're gonna act all tough in order not to cry? Do you even know how old you are now? You're 28 years old now, so if you let me go, you're gonna be all alone with nobody else coming to pick you up. I'm serious, you let me slip through your fingers, you're gonna regret that choice for the rest of your life. Are you really okay being a single old hag for the rest of your life?
If I had the choice between that and making you my husband, I'd choose being forever alone in a heartbeat.
Oh, is that right now? Then go ahead and run off. Just don't come back to me crying like a baby later on, all right? Hey, Josie. Have you finally come around to letting your head cool off? You told me something stupid before about not wanting to get married anymore. But I'm sure that now you're regretting those words coming out of your mouth, right? Well, you take those words back right now, woman. Then I'll let you come back to me, but you'll never be allowed to act out a line like that again. And you'll have to listen to every single word my mom says for the rest of your life.
Not sure what you're talking about when it comes to my head cooling off, because this whole time I've felt pretty level-headed. And even now, I don't regret a single thing I said. Which means that I'm not going to take back what I said and go back to marrying you.
So you're still going on about some stupid crap like that? I mean, Jesus, we've already gone to the courthouse and everything to get married, right? If you want to end our marriage and everything now, that just means you're going to become an old hag with a strike on her, all right? Do you understand what something like that means for you, Julie?
I'm saying all of this because I know that. Currently, I'm talking with your dad about the divorce while we both work to get myself prepared for it. So could you please stand by and wait for the day I get back in touch with you about it?
Are you actually screwing around right now? After this, there won't be another day in your life where you'll get to run into a man as amazing and successful as me. By the way, if you do divorce me and get that strike on your back, you really won't have another chance at getting married like this again, right?
But the thing is, if I had to choose between being alone for the rest of my life or having to make a husband out of a mama's boy who doesn't care for his wife like you, I'd choose being single.
You really are such an ugly, crying child. I wish I'd never gone out and gotten married with a parentless idiot like you. You're making a massive mistake by choosing to leave me and go back out into the world all alone. By the way, I already posted all over the internet about how I'd gotten married and everything. Getting all these messages from everyone wishing us a happy marriage, only to be getting divorced by you? What the hell am I supposed to tell all of them about this?
That has nothing to do with me, so I don't care. How about you go and explain to them what really happened? Tell them that your mom went ahead and told you to cancel the place that I really wanted to have our wedding at, and said for us to choose the cheapest venue out there. And that you never listened to anything your wife had to say about that, and told her to just shut up and do as your mama said to do, and that's why we had to break up. I bet you can go to all your friends and everything and explain that to them to see what they all think.
How dare you make fun of my mom and I when you don't even have any parents? Damn it. I should have never married a woman like you in the first place. Well, if you really want to get that divorce from me so badly now, then go ahead and try it. I understand now that the perfect woman for me would be someone who's just like my mom and puts the family and her husband before anything else that's in her head. I'll go out looking for someone like that on a dating app or something so that I never have to deal with a waste of time like you ever again.
I might do just the same thing myself then. Honestly thought you were a really good person at first, but I can see now that it was just a mask covering up the sorry excuse for a man you are deep down. I used to think you could think for yourself and respect those that respected you. But seeing as you only listen to whatever comes out of your mama's mouth and won't even turn an eye to your wife, I don't think someone like you will ever be able to get married again.
Shut the hell up right now! It's too late to regret any of what you've said now, you know that?
I'm never going to regret this, though. Today I'm going out with your dad to talk some more about the divorce and everything, and with the help of him, I'll be handing you the divorce papers. So when those papers get to you, please read and sign all of them before handing them in at the courthouse for me.
You really are a disgusting bitch for using my own dad like that to help you.
You're at home currently, right? I've got all the paperwork for the divorce with me and will be coming home now, so make it quick getting it all filled out and signed for me.
It's disgusting that you're siding with a woman like Julie on this. Could this mean that you and her have a thing for one another now?
Why the hell would you ever think of something as depraved as that? I'm just doing my job as your father and your mother's husband, and I'm taking responsibility for all the crap you've done to her. I can see that her staying with a man of your kind would only lead her down a path of pure unhappiness, and I don't want that for her. And that is the reason why right now I'm doing my best to make sure this divorce happens as soon as possible.
So you're not gonna do anything to help keep your own son happy?
Part of what I'm doing is for you, though, Shane, since this divorce will ultimately lead to you figuring out what's wrong with yourself and hopefully fixing it thereafter. You just don't happen to understand that because you've been spoiled by your mother for so long now. It's not too late for me to take action, though, and I'm going to try my best to turn you into a proper man that understands how to treat a woman right. Will you stop talking about me like I'm not already a gentleman? At the very least, I'm a better put-together adult than someone like Julie, who has no parents at all and doesn't know how to treat a mother-in-law. Tell me what makes you think you're so well put together. When you get married, you're supposed to distance yourself from parents like us and focus on making a family of your own with your wife. You're supposed to be thinking about things like a house and having kids with the woman of your dreams. How come you never understood that before wasting Julie's time like that? Look at yourself, though, Dad. Do you really think you're in the position to talk down to me like that? Are you aware of how often Mom tells me she's upset with the man you are? In reality, she would like to spoil me even more than she already has been. However, due to you always getting in the way of that, she says she's not giving me enough of her love anymore. I would feel so much better if you were to let Mom love me even more. So get the hell out of our way and let us be happy. Also, due to your incompetence, I'm gonna have to wait even longer now to know what happiness awaits me in marriage. So give it up acting all powerful, saying that you're doing what's best for my happiness, or whatever the hell. I am partially responsible for having raised such a spoiled mama's boy like you. Had I just been a bit more stubborn about it before when asking your mother to stop, then you would have never ended up such a sad man at the age of 30. Huh? Did you just call me a mama's boy? Don't you dare put me together with those disgusting people, Dad! Well, you're the perfect example of what a mama's boy really is. You're 30 years old now, for crying out loud, yet the only words that ever come out of your mouth are Mom, Mom, Mom! And you haven't even moved out of our house yet! I've told you so many times before now how I've wanted you to move out and start living on your own for a change, right? If you don't leave us soon, then you're never going to turn into a respectable man! I've told both your mother and you that if you move out of the house and start to make decisions on your own, then you will be able to support yourself in your later years. Yet after all of those warnings, you have not once listened to a thing I said to you. Now that you mention it, you might have told me some things like that in the past. But to be honest, I don't usually ever listen to you, so it's hard for me to remember those things. Seems that both your mother and you see family as a completely different thing compared to my views. Well, I'm not going to deal with that kind of childish behavior anymore. I'm going to have to take matters of this family into my own hands now, and from now on we'll be in charge here. All you guys have ever done is enjoy the money I make, living it up in this house of mine, never appreciating the man who has earned it all. That's too bad for you then, isn't it? If you're not going to treat me with the love Mom does, then it makes sense that I'm not going to appreciate you. Do you have no desire to improve yourself anymore then? If, after all the things I've said to you, you're still answering me like that, then that means none of the words I have to speak will ever reach you. I'll only ever listen to what Mom says. Right now, Mom is sitting with me in bed reading everything you said. And she's told me to tell you that neither of us are gonna listen to you. Is that right? All right, then. I'm going to take that as both of your guys' announcement that you want to cut ties to me.
What?
With that, you no longer need to come to work tomorrow or ever again. Today you're being fired.
None of what you're saying is making any sense to me right now. This all only involves this family's matter, so why are you bringing things about the company and my job into all of this?
Because you have been working for my company. And just a second ago, you made it very clear to me that you will not be listening to anything your father, your CEO, has to say. And if you want me to make this more clear for you, when it comes to a man that can't even take care of his own family, he is hopeless when it comes to taking care of his work. I've realized that from years and years of experience and know very well what future you hold.
Go screw yourself, Dad!
The only one getting screwed here shall be you! Now you tell this next part to your mother who's sitting right next to you. After what all I've seen and heard from the two of you, I've made my decision. I'm now planning on divorcing her when I get the chance to.
You're freaking lying, right? Mom is nothing more than a housewife, right? And if you go and fire me from the company, then how are the two of us supposed to support ourselves?
You guys can go ahead and start thinking about the answer to that one. Not like you'd ever listen to what I have to say about that anyway, so stop wasting your time asking questions like that.
Are you happy making both Mom and me suffer for absolutely no reason at all? We're supposed to be your family. I can't believe what's about to happen here.
I am done spoiling both you and your mother like I have been for the past 32 years. I've finally come to the conclusion that I no longer love the two of you. You're an adult now, biologically, so this is your chance to finally think about what to do with your life on your own.
I can't believe this crap! Are you seriously going to abandon both Mom and me now? Had I never gone and gotten married to you for a little bit there, then my life wouldn't be going to hell right now. It's all because of you that my life is completely ruined and irreparable.
Don't you dare start blaming me for any of that, you grown-ass man. Even if it was never me who you ended up going out with and getting married to, there would have been some other girl that would have led you to this same outcome.
Shut up, shut up, shut up! For someone without any parents, don't you dare preach to me like that. The only reason I even started to go out with you is because my mom told me that you looked like a mentally weak girl. And someone who would always listen to everything we said to you.
That is absolutely insane. So you even choose the people you go out with based on what your mom tells you? And you only chose me because I looked like the kind of person you both could control? You both really are the worst. Now I'm going to have a deep disdain for your type for the rest of my life.
Well, being hated by some lowlife who's never had any parents before won't bother my mom or I one bit. Jesus, all of this only happened because we went and canceled that tour for a freaking wedding venue. Why the hell has that turned into this massive argument that makes no sense to my mom and me at all? No matter what way you look at this, it's crazy.
The only crazy person here is you, Shane. And by the way, do you still not understand why I've taken things this far now with you and will never, ever forgive you?
Nothing ever happened that would have made you act out like this towards me. And it's not like it matters where the wedding would have been because you and I would have been together for it anyway. The fact that you couldn't just be happy for that means there is something seriously wrong with you.
I explained that to you so many times though before, right? I wanted to have my wedding at the same wedding venue that my parents both had their wedding at before they had me and then passed away. Ever since I started looking at the picture I had of them at their wedding, I had a dream that one day I'd have my wedding there at the exact same place. I don't have many memories of my parents, if any at all. And that's why I told you how much I wanted to stand in the same place they both stood, starting my new life, making a brand new family like they had, right? When I told you all of that from the bottom of my heart, you said that it was a beautiful dream to have, and one that you would fulfill for me.
I was just talking without thinking at the time. It shouldn't even matter where a wedding is held, which is why I never understood why you wanted to only go to that place so badly.
And that's why you forgot about everything I had said to you so easily and were able to cancel the plans without even thinking, just because your mom said so. You never really cared about how I felt or anything, right?
It's not that I never really cared about you becoming my wife. I cared about the fact that if you were to start listening to everything I told you, that you'd become the perfect woman that I could boss around.
At this point, what you're saying about me is so screwed up. I don't know what to say anymore.
You thought that I'd actually care what someone who isn't related to me by blood would have to say regarding our wedding?
You know what? Screw it. I'm going to let you hear about this now. Shane, do you have any idea who your real parents are?
Huh? What the hell are you going on about now? Unlike you, I happen to have both of my parents still around me, right?
Well, I heard the truth about you from your dad, and you're not going to like what he had to say. Both your mom and dad were never able to make a child, and so they were forced to go another route, that being child adoption. And that child they adopted was you, Shane.
You're lying. I've never heard anything about that before, and I sure as hell won't believe anything like that now.
Well, you've lived with those two almost all your life, and since you never remembered being moved into the same house as them, you don't have that memory. And with all of that toxic love your mom gave you, turning you into some rotten child, of course you would have never noticed you don't even look like them.
What the hell is all of this about? Are you trying to say to me that you and I are the same? You're trying to say that you and I are both parentless freaks? I will not be made the same as someone with the disgusting likes of you.
That's not why I was saying any of that to you. It's just, you've always been saying that to me, right? That those who are not related to you by blood are not your family, right? That would mean then that both your mom and dad aren't your family either, right?
You stop trying to trip my family and I up right now. To me, my mom is my mom. Between her and me, things like being blood related don't mean a thing. We're still family. We have to be family.
I see. You know how much it would have helped your situation out to have said something like that to me? Well, even if you were to say something like that to me now, it would be too late for us. So, I really don't care now.
Hey! Are you really telling me the truth about my mom and me not being related by blood?
The fact that you're still hung up on something like that means you really do only care about one's blood relation to other people, right? Well, you're not going to listen to me, that much is known. So how about you go and ask her yourself?
But if what you've said about us is really true, what am I gonna do? I have to start looking for a new job and everything as well tomorrow. Does that mean when I get my new job, I'm gonna have to start making money for someone who isn't even related to me in the slightest? I don't want to do that. Hey, Julie, could you go and set my dad straight for me? Tell him not to fire me like he's wanting to. Or maybe could you stop thinking about the divorce and forget it all? If you could do that for me, then I promise you that I'll change the person I've become into an even better man. I promise.
When it comes to your dad's company, it's not something I like to stick my nose into because I have no clue what goes on there. So no, I will not tell him to let you keep your job. And wait a second, what you're saying now is completely different to what you were just saying. You said to me that being related by blood doesn't mean anything, right? So go and hand in those divorce papers for me right now if you haven't already. If it seems like you're taking too long with all of that, then I'll go and have a word with my lawyer about it and have him take care of you. Goodbye now, Shane.
Damn it! I never wanted to learn that my mom and I aren't even related to one another by blood. Had I never known that, I could have been happy with her forever. What am I supposed to do now?
Because of all the work that you put into the divorce, Shane and I are no longer husband and wife. Thank you so much for what you've done.
The fact that I was able to help you out in such a way makes me all the more happy. However, me not being able to become your father in the end is a bit saddening.
You really were like a loving father to me, so I do feel sorry for myself. Also, it's because of me that you and your wife ended up aiming for a divorce now as well. I'm so sorry about that, Robert.
Nothing about the circumstances I have with that woman are to be blamed on you. Think of it like this. I've been getting fed up with my family for a while now, and after what she did to you, that was it. I couldn't handle her anymore. What my wife and son did to you is something that I need to apologize to your parents up in heaven for, even. You ended up having a divorce with someone at such a young age.
Come on, I'm sure that both my mom and dad are thanking you for protecting me like you have been right now. After all, had I been forced to stay married to a man like Shane, I'd really end up regretting everything about my life. The fact that you stepped in and stopped our marriage when you could is a kind act that I will never stop thanking you for.
Hearing you say all of that about it means that I should think of it in the same way. I'm sure this isn't something you want to be hearing from me, but I ask that you don't let any of this get you down, and push on with your head held high, making a life that would make both your parents proud.
I will. In the end, it seems that Shane really did only care about one thing, and that was his relation to those that he deemed important by blood. And so when he found out his mom wasn't his actual mother, he and her had a falling out. The stress of that knowledge now sitting in his head led him to no longer being able to focus on finding a new job. And to both him and his mom getting into a fight at least once a day. And after his dad went and got a divorce from his mom, he had the both of them kicked out of the house before his dad went and cut ties to them. Shane and his mom would be forced to move into a really cheap and small studio apartment, where the both of them would begin to work part-time trying to make the bare minimum in order to survive. As for myself, once again turning into the lone stranger that I once was before, I worked on focusing on myself and making sure that I didn't fall into the slump those two did. Robert had stayed in touch with me all the time still, and has been making sure to send me texts asking how I'm doing and when the next time we can meet is, like he's my true father. And after a few months later, when he and I sat down for a little bit to have some coffee at a nearby cafe, the look on his face when I told him about this new man I had found was priceless.